Es directora creativa de Drive Productions, una agencia de producción creativa basada en Londres. Imogen, welcome.
Hello, everybody. How are you today? You good? How many people came yesterday? Wow. Okay. Anybody new? Okay. So we're going to have some repeats from yesterday, just a little, to remind you of the work that I do. And we're going to have some new things. How's the translator doing? How many of you speak English? Good. Okay. How many of you don't speak Spanish? Sorry. I'm learning for next time. So my name is Imogen Hammond. I'm the creative director of Drive Productions. Drive specialize in live experiences. Who knows what live experiences are? Let's have a look at my showreel to see what they are. I think we just have a little bit of a transmission issue. We're just going to wait for a couple of seconds. Give me the nod when we're okay. Okay. Sorry. So you like? Yes? You like the David Guetta? Yes. Transmission issue. Just a couple of seconds. Un momento, un momento. Okay? Good. Bien. For as long as I can remember, I have had an imagination. My name is Imogen. Imagination. Paulo Coelho, one of my heroes, has spoken at this event, and he said, "Share and you will receive. It's instinctive." I am here to share some knowledge and experiences with you about a creative expression. I feel very honored to be at Campus Party with so many amazingly imaginative, creative geeks. Yesterday we looked at what geek meant, but today we're going to look at mapping again, but we're also going to look at creativity, creativity's relationship with technology, and we're going to look at the future of advertising and about live experiences, okay? So I want to say that you guys have a very cool global reputation. You know this? I think you should give yourselves a bit of a pat on the back. Come on, pat on the back. Come on, pat on the back. And so many of you have turned up to see my second presentation. Thank you. Muchas gracias. So yeah, I was asked to come to Ecuador to hang out with tomorrow's finest. Very honored. So I wonder if you can cope without having a machine for a little while. Do you have a machine? Hold a machine up. Oh, how many of you have a machine? Oh, how many of you have a machine? Come on, up, 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 up. Okay, put it on the floor. We're going to try to have 30 minutes without a machine. Okay? Okay? And I'm going to give you $20. Not each. But for the one that doesn't even look at the machine, doesn't touch machine, doesn't do Twitter with their toes, okay? On the floor. That's right, in the bag. That's right, in the sack. That's okay. There's plenty of opportunities to tippy-tappy. Okay, how do you feel? Difficult? What am I going to do with my hands? Okay, so fight the urge to pick it up. Let's see how you do. Oh. Hello? Hello? Hi. Yes, this is Drive Productions. Yes. Yeah, this is Imogen, the creative director. Hi. Okay, Okay, so you want one of these projection mapping projects? Okay, let me just see the diary. Ah, you want to know how much it costs? Okay, and you need me to ensure that it's hugely successful, with a massive global reach, virally world record breaking, using cutting edge technology. Okay, we can do that. Do you mean likes on Facebook and celebrity tweets? Right. What kind of budget do you have? Well, it's reassuringly expensive, this medium. Uncomfortable pause. What's the deadline? Next week? I'm sorry, Rome wasn't built in a day. So that's like a call we might get at the office, asking for a projection mapping job. How much is a projection mapping job? Thank you for coming here. I want to share with you my experience of selling creativity. A few years ago, Drive started creating a new kind of product. Our heritage was making events, but we were excited to bring more technology and magic into our work. We started creating 4D projection mapping. We were not the first people to do this, but we were the first people to use it for advertising. There are some amazing examples of projection mapping out there, and the best ones were all done by us. So, armed with a passion in bucket loads and my mum's oversized shoes, we confidently strolled into a conference room in Madison Avenue and convinced someone with lots of money, muchos dineros, who was really scary, to give us a break. Luckily, they were thirsty to work with small, agile companies like us who might have access to the geek community. The show we made became a global sensation. Today I want to show you a full show. Yesterday I was showing you snippets and little case studies of things and I was talking over them. Today I want to show you one full show so you can really see how the story develops and how the music accompanies the show, and so you can see how we may go from one scene to another. Okay? So I'm going to show you the Polo Ralph Lauren. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a bit difficult to see because of the daylight, but I hope you enjoyed it. So the reason I wanted to show you the full thing is to really see how we're working with fashion. We're developing music to accompany our shows, and it's really like film, and it's very engaging content, beautifully shot, very well constructed, very photorealistic. This project went live in November 2010, so it's a couple of years old now, and we've done quite a few recent. But I just wanted to show you that one because it's really a benchmark project, and it was one of the first 4D projection mapping jobs to combine live action with 3D environments. So I want to talk a little bit more about that.
This is a time when everyone is looking to technology, and Ralph Lauren has really been a leader.
This is the integration of events, the film industry and the live lighting industry.
We've really created an experience that we call merchantainment. It's the seamless blending of merchandising and entertainment.
Incorporating the real footage of real products, real models, real horses into a 3D environment where that action has a relationship with the building itself.
The viewer gets the perception of an incredible 3D environment.
I hope you're ready for Fashion 4D because I'm here at Ralph Lauren's New York flagship store on Madison Avenue, where we're about to experience a never-before-seen four-dimensional light show.
It's a huge turnout. It's so exciting.
What our 4D experience did was take the chandeliers and make them float from the sky. It took the mahogany, the ties, the evening bags, and made them spin in thin air. And that's exciting because it gives you a new way to see product. So the ads come to life, or you could step into that world now much more fluidly.
It's actually bigger than IMAX. It's higher resolution than IMAX.
No other luxury brands have attempted anything like this.
If you haven't seen the spectacular 4D Ralph Lauren show, I would highly recommend it. It will blow your mind away.
As a piece of advertising, this is completely new, completely different, achieves masses of talkability.
It's really about combining technology in a way that's appropriate to the company.
We're very proud to celebrate 10 years by creating an experience that is beyond anything we've ever done or beyond what anyone has ever done before.
Okay, and that figure of 300 million actually has gone up to about 700 million opportunities to see. So really what I'm trying to explain to you now is just the relationship between technology and advertising and what David Lauren called merchantainment, and I think what on this stage has been discussed yesterday by Paolo, advertainment. So it's quite a subject that's been happening on this stage about how creativity and technology can work together with brands and advertising to create some very impactful live experiences. Why do these projects become so viral? Why do they become so effective? Why do people like them so much? What is it about this kind of magic? I spoke about that a lot yesterday. I just want to give you a little recap on some of the things that I said. So the key thing really is that it's the content that is king here. These building transitions really do open people's imaginations up. What they're seeing before them shouldn't really happen. Buildings aren't supposed to do this. So it really kind of captures people's imaginations. And even though that we know it's a trick, we believe in it anyway, and we enjoy it. We suspend our disbeliefs because of our imaginations love to see this magic. But it has to be good, and it has to be convincing, and it has to be engaging, and it has to be well constructed. So one of the reasons that I think this work's been so well received, and particularly with the Ralph Lauren, is because of the use of live action. Real models, real products, real horses. We shoot everything against a green screen, and then we comp it into a 3D environment. So you really feel like you're getting a bit of filmmaking as well. It kind of increases the drama of the whole thing. And it's not just motion graphics. It's motion graphics being combined with art and filmmaking and narrative and storytelling. Do you think it makes a big difference? You like? And this is really what we mean by 4D projection mapping as well, just to recap from yesterday. At the Ralph Lauren show, we popped the caps on the perfume and rained actual real scent down into the street. That was our 4D moment. You don't need to wear stereoscopic glasses in order to see this either, so that's really creating an impact. So I just want to show you one more example of a full show that we've done for Bombay Sapphire. I think yesterday I asked a few of you if you'd heard of this one, and not many people had heard of it, and I showed you a little clip of it, but today I'm going to show you the 4-minute show. What's interesting about this show is that it doesn't use any live action. It's all motion graphics, and a lot of people say it's one of their favorites that we've done. So I also wanted to show you how it can work fantastically and without live action and 100% CGI. But also, I want you to hear the sound effects that we've used on this, because music and sound effects are a really important part of our shows, and they really are 50% of the story. So let's see what you think of this one. Can you see it? Okay, you're all allowed to watch it on here afterwards, okay? We'll look at it again later, and you can look at it on the screen because it looks absolutely fantastic from where I'm standing. Okay, so what I really want to look at today and focus on more than the mapping, because we looked at that yesterday, is whether the face of advertising is changing. Do you see changes? Can you see ways that advertising is developing and changing? It's not just television commercials. It's not just billboards. It's not subliminal advertising. It's more engaging. It's maybe giving you free concerts and like the Nokia Dead Mouse that I think some of you have seen. But how is advertising changing? And why is advertising changing? Are we bored? Are we bored of traditional advertising? Do we need waking up? Do we need to see more engaging content? I'm going to look at a few examples of some projects that don't use technology, some that use little technology, so lo-fi, low-tech, and then also some high-tech. And let's sort of see which ones we think create the most impact. So if you look at these examples, there's not really much technology in them. I mean, okay, there's the print technology, but there's some really interesting, there's no LED, there's no projection in these, but they're fun. Have you seen any of these before? Yeah? Are you hoping to get that $20 off me at the end, yeah? See what you think of this. So yeah, I was really impressed when I saw that. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I want to share with you some things that have inspired me that Drive hasn't done, just to sort of see the bigger picture. We don't only do mapping, we do lots of brand experiences. So I want you to sort of see the kind of things that are happening in the industry that are exciting me. So there's not much technology in that push button for drama. It's just storytelling. It's drama. It's fun. It's happening in the middle of a square and it shouldn't be. So I think that works really well. But do you think technology creates a deeper impact? So let's look at some examples of something that has more technology, but not much.
Looking for a way home, looking for the great escape. Gets in his car and drives away, far from all the things that we are. Puts on a smile and breathes it in and breathes it out. He says bye bye, bye to all of noise.
So very simple, but really effective. A place that doesn't have any sunshine for many months of the year. They just created some sunshine. Such a simple thing to really sort of make people happy. So what do we think the shape of things to come is then? Do you think everything's going to become totally technology? Or do you think some of these less technology projects are also interesting and are also engaging? Or maybe it's the combination of them that's important. So it's not all about expensive technology, it's about creativity, and it's about imaginations, and it's about staying in touch with what humans are moved by. Here's another nice example of something called water-like graffiti. Sorry, that's next. So first of all, what I want to encourage you to do is to think outside the box. You can see this is a great example of an advert that definitely thinks outside the box. So it's about things not just being on billboards anymore, it's about them spilling off the billboards quite literally and onto the street. I think that's again why the 4D projection mapping works very well. So why should we think outside the box? Christopher Columbus got it so wrong when he thought that the world was flat. Clearly the world is square. Why are computer screens square? Why is this screen square, rectangular? Who decided this? Is this simply just a hangover from the invention of television? Why aren't they round? I'm asking you why. We all look at everything and it's this shape, box-shaped, so we need to think outside the box. Mapping is content wrapped around the geometry of a building, but not only buildings can be mapped, other complex objects are brought to life with projection. Let's have a look at some examples. So yeah, beautiful, huh? Beautiful. Just when I saw that, I was just like, wow. So yeah, just think about the way that projection can be used on lots of different surfaces and on complex objects, not just on buildings, and how it can bring objects to life. Here's another example that I thought you'd really like of projection that uses a background in a studio and it uses projection on a complex object. You may well have seen this one for Alienware Area 52. Anyone seen this? No? Good. See what you think. So yeah, when I saw that, I was very impressed, and I spent the whole of yesterday talking about Drive production. So I wanted to share with you some projects that have impressed us and that have inspired us along the way. And what I think really works very, very well about this one is the combination of live action, performance, actors, with special effects and with motion graphics, and to create a very immersive experience. So I think you'll agree, it's definitely very now. Okay, and then I've got one more example of projection, and that shows and demonstrates the versatility of projection, and that's water projection. I don't know if any of you have seen some good examples, but I love it. This was for the Team USA who were leaving the USA to come to London to do the Olympics. So this is what they sent them off with. So really beautiful. Don't you think? It's just lovely. But you have to choose your content very carefully for water projection. Some people try and use water projection for things that are supposed to be very, very clear. But if it's supposed to have this slightly ethereal, sort of milky, watery, dreamy sort of content, works really fantastically. Okay, so we don't only work with projection, we also work with LED. LED is great because obviously you can see it in the daytime. As you can see, the problems with projection is that if there's too much light, you don't get you don't get the depth of the content. So LED is really great in that way, and also it's pretty sustainable. LED is definitely the leading technology in the kind of live experience field right now. I just want to show you a quick clip from something Drive did recently for the Olympics in London. Drive were tasked by Met Studio to create content expressing iconic London and the 2012 Games. Green screen filming combined with motion control provided tracking data used in our 3D particulate system. We launched the GLA EDF City Hall LED light show the very same day the infamous torch arrived at Tower of London. So you can see how LED can be very impactful too, and we can also shoot content against a green screen and comp that into an LED sort of environment and use motion graphics over the top of live action to bring it to life. For instance, the cartwheeling figures with the particles going behind them and the flames. I just want to show you, this is one of my favorites. It could have been done a little bit better. We didn't do it. But it's, this is another example of LED working really, really well in the daytime. nice idea. James Bond technology is officially alive. How many of you have seen that before? No? Well, I'm really glad I've had a chance to show it to you. So I've got one more, I think. Let me just check that. Yeah, one more, which is LED, but it's also very low tech. Have a little look at this one, and then we're going to move on to some questions. So I really loved that one because it's so simple. Basically, you sand the end of the plastic so you can't see the light. And then, of course, as soon as you put water on it, you can see through it. So simple. Such simple technology for something that's really fun and looks so digital. So those are all the examples I wanted to show you today, really, of LED and projection that we work with, and some projects that have inspired us, and to open up some questions about the future of advertising and the entertainment industry and the live experience industry. And I really wanted to sort of get your feedback, really, and what you think about the relationship between technology and entertainment and advertising, and whether you think these low-tech options are just as impressive and just as impactful as the really high-tech ones, or what you think, really. So who wants to kick off? I think Martin's going to come over and help. Thanks, Martin.
You're welcome. ¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta para hacerle a Imogen?
Did you ask me all your questions yesterday?
Hi.
Hi.
I came up with a question after your
Pretty closer to your mouth.
after your speech yesterday.
Yes.
Have you ever had to build a prototype for one of your projects, or?
Have we ever had to build the prototype?
Yeah, like actually build something from scratch.
Do you mean the motion graphic content?
Or something like the last things you showed.
Like building an LED wall or something.
Yeah, something like that.
No, we haven't done that. We haven't done an LED wall. We certainly do construct. We have a sort of what we call our D3 suite at the office, where we like to do some experiments and look at different shapes and project onto them and see how we can manipulate the content over different contours and things like this. So, and practicing with different focal distances. And we do like to work a lot with models, so that we can see what something's going to look like before we actually project onto a complex surface, or, yeah.
Thanks.
Anyone else?
I have a question. As the creative chief, how do you organize your ideas? Like,
How do I organize? Does
yesterday-
this head look like it's organized?
I know you mentioned yesterday that most of your ideas come like from everyday things, like your routine or anything. But how do you like organize them? What do you know? I don't know. Maybe something that can't be done due to technology boundaries or something. Like, what do you know? What is in your mind can be done like physically?
I don't think anything can't be done. I just think some things people are trying to do a bit early, or they're being done, but they're not as good as they should be. But people are so obsessed with being the first to do this, the first to do that, that sometimes people do projects before they're ready, and they're a bit wah, 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 like that, and you're sort of like under-impressed. So I certainly think working on something until it's ready to put out into the public eye is very, very important. But regarding organizing of my ideas, there's some very simple ways that, we have systems in the office where we collect examples. We all do show and tell, where if we see something that's inspired us, then we will like to show it to everybody else, and critique it, see what worked about it, see what they were trying to do, but maybe they didn't quite do it, or maybe, wow, why did that work so well? It was so simple. So, it's about looking at stuff, it's about sharing, and it's about trying things out.
So in the end, you're saying there's no boundaries between imagination and technology.
There's no boundaries between imagination and technology, definitely. The two drive each other all the time.
Do you think these kind of projections and this kind of advertisement will work more with well-known brands than with brands that are well-known, or maybe they will be more remembered than some brands that don't have like a big,
Sure, I know what you mean. I mean, I think, for instance, the Polo Ralph Lauren, became that big partly because Ralph Lauren is a very respected luxury brand. So it already had a big following of people that would watch it. But I think I've shown you today some really simple examples of some work which is very impressive, but it doesn't actually have a lot of money attached to it, much more low budget pieces. And I've also seen some examples of projects that have made small brands big brands because of the imagination behind them. There's a really cool brand of juice in England called Innocent. I don't know if you have it here. Anyway, they just have a tone of voice and a sort of a playfulness with their brand. And I remember when they first came out, and they had, it tasted good, so that helps, But they just had a very playful attitude to the way that they packaged their products and what the messages were to the people. And they were speaking to you on your level, not sort of down at you, So I think, and that's what made them a very, very big brand quite quickly. So I think small brands can become big brands if they have imagination and if that creativity is respected by the consumers.
Hola.
Hola.
Mi pregunta, quiero saber cómo la mayoría aquí no tenemos la tecnología que ustedes tienen, tal vez ni los conocimientos, pero tal vez sí podemos abrir nuestra mente. Entonces, ¿cuáles serían como esos pasos iniciales o qué nos recomiendas para poder dar producciones de alta calidad, pero de inicio? O sea, somos emprendedores y cuáles serían esas pequeñas cosas que podríamos empezar haciendo.
Okay, we might not have yet the technology or the know-how, but what would you recommend to be the first steps to take in order to achieve projects such as this?
Does she mean kind of specifically in Ecuador? That's
to entrepreneurs that don't actually have the technology yet. Yes.
Well, I think there's lots of opportunities to try things out without necessarily them needing to be about technology. But if your ideas about and your passions are regarding a very specific technology, then you need to find a sponsor. Because not all ideas can be achieved with no money. I don't think they can. But I do think that I think what I was trying to say today really is that it's easy to think that you can't do anything without money and loads of technology. And in fact, I've seen so many wonderful examples of projects which don't have a lot of money attached to them and are very low tech that are still very successful.
Hi, I want to know, this is an excellent job and beautiful project, but I should want to know how many time did you take, for example, in the project of Ralph Lauren? How many time did you take from the beginning till the end?
Well, normally a rough guide is like 6 to 8 minutes of a show will be about 6 to 8 weeks of preparation. But that's more for the motion graphics. Before this, you have endless meetings and talking and talking and talking and drawing up pictures and then throwing them in the bin and then picking them out of the bin and taking them out again. And so the process can be quite, maybe 2 to 3 months. Particularly with the Ralph Lauren, it was definitely, I think, 3 months, something like this. So, but a lot of people in advertising and in music videos and in a lot of these mediums, they give you 1 week or something. And we can't produce magical, beautiful motion graphics that fast. It needs some time. So we're always educating our clients we'd rather not do a job if there's not enough time. Great. So one more question.
Yes, here. Hi. Why haven't you tried, or maybe do you have any plans to integrate the public in your projections? Like, let's say, like they have this hardware where you can shake it. So they have the 2 bands, the yellow against red. I don't know, something like that. Have you any plans?
Sure. We did. We very quickly looked at some of the future of this medium yesterday. Actually, I didn't go into detail about it a lot because we didn't have a lot of time. But there's lots of discussion. Everybody wants interactivity. That's the buzzword. Can it be interactive? But the thing is, if you've got 1,000 people, all trying to control the content, it's like, what's it going to do? No, I want to go over here. No, I want to go over there. No, back. So it's kind of difficult to involve a whole crowd, but that's why I'm interested in the EEG headsets. Because imagine if everybody, yesterday I was saying, if everybody had to think and to drive that thing in that direction, then it's nice because it's a sort of feeling of unity with the audience, where they're all in it together. And or you can make it kind of fun and a bit competitive, but I think there's still some really interesting exploration to be done in that area. Help! Thank you guys, it's been an absolute pleasure to come to Ecuador. I so don't want to go home again, and I really hope I have an opportunity to come back to Campus Party again. It's been fantastic meeting you all. Bye.